first guest has done so many things, it's hard to believe he's just one man. He's been a drummer, a dancer, a bouncer, an actor, and an acclaimed author whose first novel, Between the Bridge and the River, is being released on audiobook today. He also keeps us up laughing way past our bedtimes every night as the hilarious host of The Late Late Show. Take a look.
That's a fantastic story.
Yeah, there's a little things that you can throw people into. You know, in fact, though, I'm not even going to say that. So it goes nowhere.
Wait.
No,
let me stop. Have you ever seen this show before? Did you see the monologue? This is where we go. Nowhere. You're in the road to nowhere.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, our great friend, Ferguson.
Excuse me, it's very nice to be here. You know, I was a dancer. I heard you say in the intro, I was a dancer. I was, in fact, a fly girl.
Really?
And let me tell you... You know, what happened was, I actually, when I first came to America, and I was in New York, and I went into a bar because I didn't know anybody, and I thought I'd meet friends in a bar, and I did meet friends. And a guy came over to me and said, "Have you ever danced?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Come and join my dance troupe." So I did, to meet friends. And I did a bit of modern dancing, wearing spandex. Thank you, lady. Yeah. Of course. Everything was much higher then, if you know what I mean.
So many pictures in my head now. We were talking earlier about Simon Cowell and not being a nappy changer, but are you, what kind of a dad
Does that mean there's more Cowells then? There's another Cowell coming for another generation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a nappy changing dad?
Yes, I have two boys. I actually kind of, this is probably a bit weird, but I kind of like the smell of my kids' poo. You know, and there's a couple of poos that I remember fondly. Like, one of the boys, I won't say which one, but one of the boys, it was outside a Toys R Us, and just like it was one of those, I guess, excitement took hold. And I remember folding that thing down on the back of the car and taking off a diaper and going, "Oh! Oh! Have you been drinking Guinness? What is this?" It was... this... And I still think back at it now going, it's kind of proud in some way.
It was that big?
It was almost like a hobo had snuck in. It was huge. But I think, because my dad said, you know, God rest him, he used to say, I had 4 kids, I'd never changed one. They call them nappies in Scotland. I'd never changed one. And I think, well, you missed out because it's kind of fun to do that. I kind of like doing it. It's gregarious.
Connecting with your
and also when they stop, you get a sense of relief.
I'm going to make like a hard left turn here.
Yeah.
But you did not end up spending this Valentine's Day with your wife because you were on the road performing.
Yeah.
So was it hard breaking it to her that she was getting stood up for stand-up?
No. First of all, I don't do stand-up for nothing. So when... Actually, that's not true. I think emotionally I do it for nothing. But the travel, you pay me for. So no, I said, I have to go and work. And she's like, okay.
Go make money.
Yeah, well, you got to pay for diapers. I'm okay with it. I don't really... Valentine's Day is a British thing, but I don't really go for it the same. In America, it seems to be much more...
It's much
more
bigger,
a big deal. Like, of course, my wife's American, so maybe I should pay more attention. But no, it didn't seem to be that big a deal. I don't think because like the kids do it. You know, all the kids give all the other kids Valentines. I don't really understand what that is, you know.
You're an American citizen now.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to get with the program
I don't think, though, but when I took the citizenship thing, they didn't say, "Now, how do you feel about Valentine's Day?"
It's added to
Will you be romantic?
But Frank,
right. Your stand-up shows were part of your hot and grumpy tour.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, what makes you hot and what makes you grumpy?
I think that was more a description of what I found in the diaper outside. It just sounded two words that sounded kind of funny to me, hot and grumpy. It was like when I get hot, I get grumpy. I'm not talking about hot as ladies. You know, when I was dancing, then I was
Spandex.
a lot of spandex.
Now,
I miss those days.
your son Liam just turned 3.
Yeah, the
And
youngest boy, yeah.
Here in LA, people can get a little carried away with children's birthday parties, very
Yeah.
over the top. Did you find yourself falling for that, going overboard with?
No, not at all. I don't really kind of... people go crazy in LA for lots of reasons, and in fact, any reason they can find. They like, let's have an enormous event, and I don't really... Actually, an enormous event, not unlike the one outside the Toys R Us that I was talking about. But no, I don't. We had a little thing. We had a cake and candles, and he got a toy car and photographs, and he sang happy birthday. And then we had to do it, 25 times. But just the family is fine. I don't think you need, everyone who's got a movie coming out,
A red carpet.
Yeah, a carpet, just a small red carpet, just, a couple of paparazzi. TNC, we're having a party for Liam.
Now, much more with Craig Ferguson when we come right back.
Craig Ferguson. Now, Craig, let's talk about your audiobook.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Now it's cool.
It's a proper book, and then I read it. It's an audio. I didn't write it as an audio book. I didn't think I'd write it,
And then you did it some time ago.
Yeah, I wrote it about 7 years ago.
Yeah,
I think.
and so now you've done the audiobook.
Yeah.
Right.
It took me a while. I'm not quick.
It's called Between the Bridge.
Between the Bridge and the River. Yeah.
Now, just say you were pitching it for a screenplay. How would you describe it?
I wouldn't pitch it for a screenplay, and I'll tell you why. The reason I wrote it is because I just made a movie which I'd written, starred in, and directed, and I looked at the movie and I hated it. I mean, and I still hate it. Years later, I was like, this is not the movie I wanted to make at all. Yet I wrote it, starred in it, and directed it. And I thought, what is it here? What happened? And what happened was I felt that because movies are big and a lot of people are involved in it, because of that, I blame myself. I'm not blaming these people, but I kind of lost sight of what was going on. So what I wanted to do was write something which was a totally one-person deal. So I wouldn't even take an advance for the book. I wouldn't make a deal with a publisher. I wrote the book on spec so that when I was pitching the book to be sold, or to be published, they would say, we'd like to change this, and I go, nah,
No.
I'll take it somewhere else then. So the book was finished, so I wouldn't pitch it as a screenplay, and I had a bet with John Peters that he said that any book could be turned into a screenplay. And I said, OK, read it. And he read it, he went, you bastard, eh? It can't be done. So I wouldn't pitch it at all. Yeah.
But what is it about?
I don't really know. I think
That's a problem.
it's about... I was in a very odd state at the time. I mean, it has a story, it has a narrative. It's about a disgraced television personality from Scotland and somebody else. Jennifer Lopez is in it. Lucy Perez is in it. They're like all mad at each other. That's not... They're not it.
Were you wearing spandex?
I wear spandex. And I have to say, I would warn anyone, though, it's a very dirty book. It's it's more dirty than that.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, oh, that kind of dirty.
Really? Can I be in the movie?
Yeah.
You just sold 5 more copies.
Now,
Well, my feeling is that women prefer to read their porn than see their porn anyway, so it's okay. Women are quite happy reading
Yes,
dirty stuff.
that's right.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
It's the imagination.
Yeah, women are cool with reading dirty. It's when you show dirty stuff, women are like, I don't think so. But if you read, like some of the stuff you read, 50 Shades of Grey, I'm like, oh, please. I don't know. I'm not a woman.
We want to say congratulations on your show you've been the host for 10 years of The Late Late Show. Wow, 10 years already. And not too long ago, you learned an odd fact on your show from Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Tell everyone
Well,
what...
Kevin said, he gave me this fact. Kevin Bacon's always got something interesting to say. And he said that when dogs poop, they always face north. I was like...
Is this true? And why?
I don't know, because I got 3 dogs, but I don't, you know, they go out in the yard in the morning. I don't know where they're facing. I know something happens.
That's true.
But I don't... You can't tell from the evidence what way they were facing at the time. There's no kind of... Well, maybe I suppose if you thought about it. But it's... No, apparently there's some scientific research that dogs, many dogs, certain breeds of dog will face north when they poop. I know I do, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson, everybody. You can watch The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson weeknights at 12:35 a.m. right here on CBS. For information about Craig's stand-up tour and how to purchase his audio book, Between the Bridge and the River, which cannot be made into a movie, go to thetalk.com. We'll be right back.